So, like taking ahead the debate which is still on where to draw a line between sedition and dissent. Firstly, what I feel is all of us are law students. We should, instead of hearing to particular narrative which is driven by people, we must ourselves look back what was in the mind of our forefathers who were framing the constitution. What is the idea which has brought 565 princely states together and named a country India, that is Bharat? So, just to give you a little bit of background, what was the situation around 1947? You all know India was never like US. They had that a big state, already a nation in existence. It was ruled by different rulers, and they were different Britishers colonies. So at the time when it was decided to have a nation, so there were instrument of accessions which was signed by the states or princely states to come into to merge with the country in India, to merge with the country named India. So this was the background, and what Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel ji did to make sure that India always stayed together as a nation with the coming of states which is very diverse, from Jammu, ranging from Jammu and Kashmir to Hyderabad, whatever politics and circumstances which were surrounding. It will give you a very broad idea like how was the situation when the constitution was being framed. So the idea was always to have a integrated India. That I don't think anybody else will differ with it. You can end off during law classes, during constitutional law classes, or during coaching, people might have heard of. We often describe Indian Union integrity as indestructible union of destructible states, which means the boundaries of country or any state cannot secede from India, or they cannot move away. They have to stay within the country, within the constitutional framework. For administrative disbalances to balance it, there can be alternate arrangements, diminish the boundary, creation of more states. But all of that has to be done within the India. So now when we see dissent voices in light of these circumstances, given the facts, what are they in the constitution, now how justified the dissent is that Kashmir is not integral part of India. Is it a dissent? I'll also pose some questions to you. You people also think, is it if I say no, Agra will not be part of India, it will be an independent country. Is it possible? Is it a dissent? So likely, if some people instigate rather others to pick up arms for a movement against the country to gain victory over others, how justified is it? We have a preamble which was adopted after the framing of the majority of the articles of the constitution. Once it was done, then preamble was, and it should, in a nutshell, the idea was it should reflect what is in the constitution. And preamble is integral part of India, part of basic structure after Keshwanand Bharati. It is part of basic structure. So when will when we read, we the people solemnly constitute, resolve ourselves sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, then there you come across words unity and integrity, which were added by 42nd Amendment, and I need not speak who was the PM there. Right? So I need not comment who was the PM when 42nd Amendment was passed. Then if you come down the next line to unity and integrity, there is the word used fraternity. Is it by spreading hatred among different sections of society, or by telling, if I tell Nidhi, you pick up gun and hit at any SUI or any ICE activist who is against you, is this how I'm gonna promote fraternity? Is this the dissent voice? So we all are prudent, we all are law students, everything is with us. And like the people say they are precedent, every case is different. It depends on facts and circumstances what has happened. In the case which has, which brought out this debate against sedition versus dissent, The police become up, firstly, I don't know, all of you are law students. The first case which should be filed against, should it be next civil court or lower court? They tried it, they couldn't get through it, they thought it's not easy to get it done, our work done. They approached Supreme Court directly. And if people say dissent voices, they are writing letters which have been out in public. Shehzad sir is carrying one such letter and it is out in public domain. They are asking for, weapons, deadly weapons to wage war. What is it? So when will it be a sedition, when everything will be done? And section 124 also speaks of, if there are sufficient evidences, it's not a vague interpretation just like it is being told by the people. उतना वो नहीं है कि आप पे आएंगे कहीं आपने मोदी जी को कुछ का और उठा के ले जाएंगे. शायद आप लोग वीडियो देखते होंगे, ट्विटर पे भी देखते होंगे, बहुत लोग मोदी जी को बहुत कुछ कहते हैं और भी मंत्रियों को कहते हैं, कभी आज तक किसी को बंद करके जेल में नहीं डाला गया. तो जो कहा जाता है सरकार के खिलाफ बोलना और देश के खिलाफ बोलना, दोनों में फर्क है. अब बीजेपी वाले या कोई और जो राष्ट्रवादी विचारधारा के लोग हैं वो बोले हैं भारत माता की जय, या इंडिया, भारत एक अखंड भारत है जो है और ये टूट नहीं सकता. सिर्फ आपको उसका विरोध करना है या अपने आपको डिसेंट बोलते हैं, आप ये कह सकते हैं कि नहीं भारत को हम टुकड़ों में करेंगे. क्या ऐसा संभव है क्या? लाइक आई एम पोजिंग दिस क्वेश्चन. आई एम नॉट फीडिंग यू विद माई ओन नैरेटिव कि मैं अपना कुछ जो चल रहा है, नहीं मुझे स्वतंत्रता है, मेरे मानवाधिकार है कुछ, आई हैव एब्सोल्यूट फंडामेंटल राइट. ऐसा भी कंसेप्ट हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में भी नहीं है. तो गिवन द बैकग्राउंड कि किस परिस्थिति में हम एक देश, एक राष्ट्र बन के उभरे हैं और कितनी चुनौतियों को हम लोगों ने अब तक लड़ते आए हैं, उन्हें जीते आए हैं. और जिस तरह की आज लोग कहते हैं कि सब आजादी, अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी नहीं है, वो अभी डर नहीं है, वो शायद 1975 से बाहर नहीं आ पा रहे हैं जहां आर्टिकल 20 और 21 भी अवेलेबल नहीं था लोगों को. शायद अभी 44वें अमेंडमेंट से even article 2021 cannot be taken away when you impose emergency. Article 359 speaks of this very clearly. तो जब तक आपके मौलिक अधिकार ही सुरक्षित है, तो ऐसा क्यों हवा बनाना या ऐसा बोलने वाले लोग कि अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी नहीं है, ऐसा तो नहीं है. और अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी नहीं होती तो क्या हाउस अरेस्ट होते या कोर्ट जाके? As long as you have power to approach Supreme Court at any time, you cannot call कि मुझे अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी नहीं है, कि मुझे संवैधानिक या मेरे मौलिक अधिकार मुझे नहीं मिले. लोग बोलते हैं कि ड्रैकोनियन लॉ है, सॉरी कॉलोनियल लॉ है और ड्रैकोनियन है. तो कॉलोनियल क्या नहीं है? शायद आप लोग सभी ने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पढ़ा होगा. मेजर ऑफ आवर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इज बेस्ड ऑन गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट 1935. तो वो 1945 का कानून किसने बनाया था, वही हमने अडॉप्ट किया. एंड वी हैव रिटेन्ड दिस सेडिशन लॉ. ऐसा नहीं है कि हमें लोगों को गुलाम बनाना था या लोगों को बांध के रखना है, बट जस्ट टू प्रोटेक्ट द नोबल आइडिया ऑफ इंटीग्रेटेड इंडिया. ये एक यूनिटी, इंटीग्रिटी, फ्रेटर्निटी, ये सब लोग साथ रहे, वो सबको बचाने के लिए रखा गया. इट इज नॉट टू पनिश पीपल टू टेक पॉलिटिकल रिवेंज. हैव यू एवर, मैं आप लोगों से पूछता हूं, हैव यू एवर कम अक्रॉस अ केस इन लास्ट 4 or 5 years where a common citizen or a politically motivated citizen said or hit at PM Modi or any other government minister or official for that matter, and he has been put behind bars? Can you name any single instance of such nature where you say yes, the sedition law has been misused? So, and then there are fundamental duties which were again added in the Constitution by 42nd Amendment. Swarna Singh committee recommended, because people are asking for too much rights, Then the committee introduced part 4.1. What does fundamental duty 51A 1A speaks of? To abide by the constitutional principles, noble ideas of freedom, to cherish the noble ideas of freedom. Is this how we will cherish our noble ideas, by dividing citizens, by disintegrating India? Like this is, we fall in trap. People throw a narrative, we instead of researching on it own, instead of understanding its nuances, what are the legal challenges, what legal provision speaks of, we directly jump into conclusions and stick to a line of argument which has already been floated in the social media. सभी को संविधान की कॉपी अवेलेबल है, सब लोग पढ़ सकते हैं, किताबें हैं, समझ सकते हैं, और फिर कोर्ट्स है. So these are few things जो मुझे बोलना था. और there is also लोग बोल अभी जैसे जो हथियार इकट्ठे कर रहे हैं, ऐसा लेटर आ रहा है जो पुलिस जांच कर रही है. फाइनल कमेंट, एंड दिस इज one of the ground mentioned under Article 352 for national emergency. तो मुझे लगता है कि जब भी लेफ्टिस्ट या और लोग कहते हैं कि संविधान खतरे में, तो शायद वो सही कहते हैं. वो लोग इतना हथियार गोला बारूद इकट्ठा कर रहे हैं कि इमरजेंसी लगी जाएगी. आप लोग समझ नहीं पा रहे होते. Like they are hinting at their intentions. Because the integrity of India is so integral in our constitution to the idea of constitution that armed rebellion is also a part. Is it one of the ground on which national emergency, where central government has to step in, where state government has failed to do so. तो इतने protections इतने already हमें available है. This is just a narrative building, एक झूठा narrative खड़ा करना है. So these are few things which are available in public domain, which are very lame discussion, which I have done. It's very general. You can read out all these things yourself and please decide, are there any powerful or any power to government which can override the rights of citizens. Thank you.